sip our worries away, nice and slow. Your laughter ripples like sweet warm wine. In this jazzy sultry space you're mine. The saxophone croons a velvet tune, while melodies dance beneath the moon. We'll toast to moments both grand and small, in this hazy, lazy, jazz-touched hall. Let's sit together in the mellow night. We'll drink to love till the morning light. Every glass we raise a promise true. Here's to the magic in a drink with you. They sparkle with every click, sweet rendezvous over a simple drink. We'll share our secrets in whispers low, just you and me where the jazz flows slow. The world outside fades into the mist, but here it's our own dreamy tryst. With each sip our worries drift away. Let's stay together till the break of day. So let's sit together in the mellow night. We'll drink to love till the morning light. Every glass we raise a promise true. Here's to the magic in a drink with you.
The following live stream has been approved for appropriate audiences. It may contain occasional strong language and may not be suitable for younger or more sensitive viewers. Viewer inebriation is advised, though not mandatory.
Good evening, happy Friday, and welcome to The Last Call. You know that moment when you tell yourself just one more quest and suddenly the sun's coming up? Yeah, that's us with open world games. I'm out here in the wastelands of Fallout, scavenging bottle caps like a raccoon with radiation poisoning, while Boomer's over there in Hyrule climbing every damn mountain just because it's there. These games don't just waste our time, they steal our souls and make us love it. So grab your Nuka-Cola or your Hylian Noble Pursuit. And while we talk about why we can't quit these massive worlds that somehow feel more real than our actual lives, tell us your favorite in the chat. The Last Call starts right now.
Last Call is streamed before a live audience.
Oh. Well, that sucks. I meant for it to do this.
What you sipping on?
The orgasm.
Yep, this is another stream that's probably going to get demonetized just for that sound clip. So if you were with me for Liquid Lunch, you heard me talking about the history of this drink, its connection to the movie Cocktail, a little bit of trivia, and why I think that trivia is probably only about half true. We'll talk more about that next week. And so I was not happy with the traditional recipe. And I decided that the screaming variety would possibly be more to my liking. In other words, with a bit of vodka to make it a little bit more booze-centric. Why? Because around here we serve hard drinks for people who like to get drunk fast. I'm struggling with these milkshake so-called cocktails, but I'm going to give it a try. I even have the suggested 2 maraschino, but it is real maraschino. Let me correct myself. Homemade maraschino, not that bright red, waxy, fake stuff. Let's give this a try. I have not tried this before. This is a screaming orgasm. I will tell you, the vodka definitely helps. It just like watering down something that's a little strong. This is watering down the sweet to make it a little bit more cocktail-ish. That amaretto is kind of forward, so I kind of don't mind that. But now talking vodka and amaretto, I'm kind of thinking of a different cocktail I think I'd really prefer tonight. This is still a little sweet for me. And I didn't even bother to top it with the whipped cream that they call for. But right now, I'm going to do that. Because I want to give my lovely wife, Netter of Netter's Network, a screaming orgasm with cream. Will you have what she's having? No, don't have what she's having, because that is not what I consider to be a good drink. What do you think, however? Remember, you are the bouncer.
I'm tasting Kahlua first.
She is a Kahlua fan. Her go-to drink when we were dating was Kahlua and cream, just to point that out.
Yeah, my two go-tos are Kahlua and cream and my Netter's Nectar, which is what I'm drinking tonight, which is coconut rum and coconut fruit juice. And I added in some cherry pomegranate this time.
There you go. There you go.
But first and foremost, I'm tasting the Kahlua. That comes off the strongest to me. But then the after notes, I'm tasting amaretto and something else, but I'm not thinking it's vodka. It has a completely different...
Yeah, the flavors can get complex, and they sometimes taste a little different. Also, I gave her the cherries as well. Why? Because she took mine. So let's get Aged Boomer here and say, how you doing, my friend, and what are you sipping? I love that. You got Link riding the tractor.
On the riding mower, yes. I don't know which, that was a cosplayer that must have done that. I think it's a young lady, actually, pretend to be Link, but I'm drinking...
That's actually kind of amazing that you're able to find all of these characters riding tractors. Is that like a thing?
I'm wondering. I'm starting to wonder if it is a thing, because now I noticed that I just Google and this is what I find. And I'm sipping on an orange juice. I have to get up in the morning, but
oh, okay. It's not even a what is it, a screwdriver or whatever?
Just
fuzzy
a
name,
plain Florida orange juice, because I live in the state of Florida. Fair. But it's funny you were mentioning climbing mountains. Yes, you do a lot of climbing mountains and climbing many things in Breath of the Wild.
I know nothing about the game, but I did my research.
You might know more than I do.
My lazy my lazy research. Did you notice I also referenced and I've already forgotten what the name of it is, the drink from Hyrule that apparently is part of the game that I wouldn't know about. I don't know. Let me look at my
call them
my
elixirs.
monologue.
Maybe you know something I don't. I've been putting together elixirs.
It is called the Noble Pursuit. Apparently, this is a drink in the games.
I've not found it, but it must be there. So I'll have to keep hunting. Yeah, but we'll get into it. Yeah.
And we're also going to get into the fact that you and I have a very, very different gaming style. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
We'll get into it. Let me say hi to the chat. Starting with Jamie Lynn Simons was the first one in. Hi, guys. Well, welcome, Jamie Lynn. Good to see you. And, of course, Big Al Presents. Happy Friday, my friends. Hope you have a great show tonight. Yes, so do I. I hope it is good. And, yeah, Netter, I think I'm going to need a replacement drink, because this... between the alcohol and the sheer amount of sugar, I will not be...
You're going to get diabetes.
Diabetes. Yeah, well, that could be. I was going to say the booze, but no. Oh gosh, I'm not drunk enough to be able to argue that bad line was alcohol induced.
Okay, you do realize, sweetheart, that you just gave me an orgasm. Now you're talking about booze poos. That's not very romantic.
No, it's absolutely not. It's absolutely not. You're absolutely right. Welcome, Connie Cleary, the star of Fluff
At least
Chick
it won't be Barbie
Productions.
bad.
Yeah, that's a private joke, and I'm not even going to get into the details on that one.
So you want me to take that one away? Or are you going to try and drink it?
I thought you were going to try and drink it. I am not going to end up drinking it. Unfortunately, that
I
was a miss.
have a drink.
Yes, you can't two-fist it.
I don't know. Leave it there. I'll
Yeah,
be back.
you may decide that you want it later. So, Enigma Severus, gaming! Honestly, I'm just here for my YouTube fam. See, that's... he gets it. He gets it. I appreciate that. I really, really do. Of course, Boomer's in the chat as well. Deleted scenes. Salute, my friend. Good to see you. Hail to the chat. You are really nifty people. It is a Films with Friends raid. I hope you guys had fun with The Emperor's New Groove.
Ooh.
And hail to you, Tim Hayes. Good to see you, my friend. Always, always good to see you. Channel members, you guys just warm my heart, and I can't appreciate you enough. Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. What's up, people? Happy Friday. Welcome, welcome. We're about to get into some gaming talk. And I'd like to say it's because Boomer's the gamer and he was pushing me to have a gaming stream, but the reality is it's really my obsession that inspired this. Kapla, here I are, making a rare Friday appearance at the bar. Bartender, blood wine, make sure it's warm and hurry. And an order of Roqueg blood pie. Sweet or savory? Remember, there's a difference. Like, share, subscribe, comment, become a member, and if you were going to give a super chat of $5 or more, why not gift a membership instead to make our family grow? Yes, please do those things. And thank Geek Flag with Nate Knows for the artwork for today's thumbnail. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you.
Especially getting that last one in last minute for me. I super, super appreciate you for that. Netter, of course, calling me the love of her life, not just because I gave her a screaming orgasm. Become a member for 7 cents a day. Yes, because this stream is probably going to get demonetized for the number of times I said orgasm. In fact, if you take a shot every time I say orgasm in this stream, you might end up dead. So don't do that. Drink responsibly. Where else are you going to get a deal like that? If you are so inclined, please consider joining at the next level up for 17 cents a day. Yes, yes, absolutely. Let's see. And Jamie Lynn is drinking wine. I guess she's making it cherry wine. There you go. There you go. Cherry wine. The only song that I can think of that has that lyric in it is, we don't have to take our clothes off to have a good time. Oh no, we could dance and party all night and drink some cherry wine.
Okay. I made that with, you got the jigger, and it's 2 ounces and 1 ounce. So it's 2 ounces amaretto, then 2 ounces vodka, 2 ounces amaretto, 2 ounces vodka. So it's self-mixed.
Oh, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. Yeah, I didn't want you to put it into the shaker that just had the orgasm in it. So this is a drink. You heard her say what was in it. It's equal parts vodka and amaretto. This is a drink that an Italian-American would call a kumad. You might call it the godmother. So let's give this a try. Ooh. It's a little sweet because of the amaretto. but it's
equal parts though.
But yeah, it's a very balanced drink. This is all the things that I liked about the orgasm without the orgasm.
I thought you were going to say without the mess.
Yeah, without the mess. You're absolutely right. There you go. That's some good cocktail. Troy, it's just not a drink made for real men like us. Yeah, this one I'd say is a little bit more. This is about as sweet as I want to go. I
thought I was as sweet as you wanted to go.
That's a different kind of sweet. I love that kind of sweet. That's the kind of sweet that doesn't make me sick. And I'll even say around the holidays, I like to have a little sipper of straight amaretto, but that's really sweet. I mean, when your fingers get sticky from the glass, well, you're a messy bartender. But that's beside the point. Let's see here. Guys all saying hi to each other, which honestly I love to see. Lady Mist, thank you so much for encouraging Netter with the blue emojis. That is so sweet of you. And encouraging Aged Boomer with the red ones. That's nice. That's nice. Samuel Proctor, getting me back on topic, says, the last open world game I played was Assassin's Creed Origins. Meh story and gameplay, but amazing open world of first century Egypt. This is... Okay, let me just real quick make sure I'm not missing any major comments. Okay, let me get your follow-up on that. As I've discovered, backlogged, and been remembering every game I've ever played, I realize I haven't played nearly as many games as I assumed I had, especially in junior high and high school. Yeah, so you mentioned these open world games, and the world being better sometimes than the gameplay itself or the actual story. It helps. A compelling story definitely helps, but the world is as much a part of it as anything else. So where should we begin with this, Boomer? Do you want to start with Hyrule, or do you want to start with the wasteland?
Start with Fallout, because usually as the evening goes on, you might be a little less coherent. That's why I let you go first. I'm sorry.
No, this is why he is our designated driver. He absolutely.
Anyway, we'll start with Fallout, but I mean, here's the deal. I'm hardly an expert on open world games, even though I own quite a few of them, and I always look at them and I always get scared, and I feel they're too daunting to get into.
Why do you say that?
Because there's so much to do.
See, and
it's not point A to point B.
Okay, so that's a great point, and let me.
Well, here's
go ahead.
The thing, Boomer. Yes, they are open world, but you still have a mission. You need to get X item or save X person or whatever is the major end result. Along the way, you get some interesting things happening, like you might come across a new companion. Or you might find a new enemy and find creative ways to kill them, which is always fun.
Yes, yeah. I suppose Breath of the Wild does that. Yes,
and that brings up a great point about
Drists.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, if you are playing Baldur's Gate,
the original Baldur's
Gate, I believe it's hashtag Drizzt, DRIZZT.
It's a cheat code.
It's a cheat code, yes. And you can spawn a whole bunch of Drizts who will fight for you and just obliterate
Be careful
your
if
enemy.
you're playing it on the kind of computers that were available at the time.
Crashing.
The frame rate will crash. Yeah, we literally had a situation where she spawned so many Drizts on screen at one time that the game lagged to about a frame a minute. That's how bad it was.
Until they started despawning, and then it started speeding up.
Exactly. And you literally had to walk away and go, you know what? Let him just finish this combat, and we'll be back tomorrow. But, yeah. So, here's the thing. Okay, let me get into specifically Fallout 4. I don't know why my nose is so itchy.
Someone's thinking about you.
Maybe. Fallout 4 is the one that I'm focusing on right now. Although I do have Fallout New Vegas, I just came at it with, the wrong mindset, and I got overwhelmed, and I didn't know what I was doing. And then I started playing Fallout 4, and just dove into it. It hit a gaming need that I knew I had, and I didn't know how to find. So I've talked about enjoying The Sims for the longest time, and I was playing Sims 4, I guess it was, and until let's just say the company that supported it, I don't like them. I don't like. Is it EA games?
It's
yeah,
EA,
I don't like EA games.
Nobody likes EA.
And the problem is, and this happens. This happens to gamers. I think gamers have this problem all the time. You change computers or whatever, and then you're trying to migrate your game and all the saves and everything over to the new system. And most companies are either make it reasonably logical on how to do that, or are willing to help you do that. EA Games wanted me to rebuy everything for my new computer. And I had the main base game and about 25 of the expansions, all of which had, codes, and the codes wouldn't work anymore because I'd already put them on the old computer. They said, no, you have to buy it all over again. I said, screw you. I will never buy another product from you again. And I haven't. And I literally erased it from my old computer to free up space. It wasn't doing me any good anyway.
Right.
And never went back to it. Well, one of the aspects to Fallout 4 is that it's very customizable. You build settlements, buildings and businesses and so on and so forth, in a very Sims-like way. And I'm like, this kind of fits that niche for me, So getting a little ahead of myself, though. So the basic story, this would be spoilers for the opening of the game. So I think most people, even if they haven't played it, if they're at all interested, have already seen videos on YouTube about the lore and know basically how it starts out. You start out as a main character, either male or female. You choose from one of a married couple with a child. In the year, I want to say it's 2077. I think it's 2077. In an alternate Earth where I think that history may be completely separated, but most people put the divergent point somewhere around World War II. Basically, the world, specifically the United States, takes a very different socio-political turn.
The world is screwed now.
Well, yes, it becomes much more authoritarian, with this enforcing idea of creating and enforcing a idealized 50s style sensibility. Okay, so that by 2077 you still have people listening to, Dean Martin and Frank Sinatra and stuff like that, which, let's face it, I'm all about. That's cool, men and women dressing in traditional, attire. The women are all in
they got a
day
fedora.
dresses and stuff. Yeah, wearing fedoras and so forth. Yeah, it's very.
I always thought that was a really classy look.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, obviously that kind of fits my sensibilities, right? So you play one of two people. There is Nate, and there's Nora.
I thought it was Nick and Nora.
Nick and Nora is the glass that I wanted to use today, because I feel like there's a spiritual connection there, but we don't have any Nick and Nora glasses. So Nate is an ex, I'm not sure if he's Army or Marines, I think it's Army, ex-soldier. And he had served in a battle against China, fought in the Battle of Anchorage, Alaska. And he's just recently been discharged and starting a new job in the private sector. His wife is an attorney. Her name is Nora. And so you could choose either one of those two characters. Either way, you have a son named Sean and a robot butler named Cogsworth, which is kind of cool. And you start out that you barely have a chance to get to know your spouse and the child and Cogsworth before. I wish there was more time for you to open world that element. Go around and meet your neighbors, all that kind of stuff. But it starts out almost immediately with a guy from Vault Tech, a sales guy, door-to-door type salesman showing up, saying that we have been pre-selected for a place in the vault, in case, the big one happens, right? And time is of the essence. You don't want to be left, outside the vault when the bombs start dropping. And if you, get resistant, your spouse is like, I want you to do this thing, right? Oh, by the way, I am playing as the male character in this particular playthrough, but I didn't choose the name Nate. It gives you an opportunity to choose your name, and I chose Troy. The reason that's cool is because one of the elements of this game is that when you talk to Cogsworth, he will refer to you by name, and audibly, not just in text. It doesn't just input whatever you typed. He says your name. And it's not like the modern day you'd expect it to be some sort of AI generated, voice chatbot thing. The voice actor recorded about 1,000 names for each character. And Troy just happened to be one of them. So when I greet him and he goes, Mr. Troy, I'm like, holy crap, he actually said my name. Well, I looked online, and it turns out that among the names that this voice actor had to record was Troy, Jonathan, common names like that. Obviously, Nate. Shithead, fuckface, things like that. He actually says, I'm like, wow, that's forethought. And there's a lot of that kind of forethought that goes into this game. But anyway, I'm digressing. So as soon as you fill out his questionnaire, and what his questionnaire is just setting up your base stats for the game, right? Soon as you're done, the baby starts crying. You go and, bond with your baby so that you have that emotional connection, right? Because then suddenly Cogsworth calls you into the front room where the news is talking about, incoming missiles. And, your wife grabs the baby, or you grab the baby, depending on which character you're playing, and you run off to the vault, right? You run...
Which happens to be down the block.
Well, yes, which also explains why... Well, yes, and that's we'll get to that in a minute, but all the people that are in the vault with you are your neighbors, but not all of your neighbors are able to get in. And it's one of those emotional things where you and your family just signed the paperwork. You guys are going in. You have to leave a bunch of your neighbors behind. You get into the vault, you change into the blue jumpsuit and whatnot. The baby has to stay with mom or dad, depending on which character you're playing. In my case, I'm on my own and mom has the baby. And you get into a cryopod and then you freeze, right?
But they don't tell you it's a cryopod.
No, you don't know at first.
They tell you that you have to get into this machine for a health check.
Which it does do. It does do a scan.
And to decontaminate you. But instead, they're actually cryo-freezing you. They just don't tell you that.
Exactly. which in and of itself, I don't understand why we didn't. That actually makes sense. If you're gonna spend, 200 years in cryo freeze and then come out, that kind of makes sense. That seems like a smart way to outlast the nuclear apocalypse, right? And it does. It's this great first person immersion. You see the screen freeze over, and then all of a sudden it starts to thaw, and you think that you're getting out, but what's actually happening is someone has come in and says, "Here's the one, mother and child," and they open, and you can see what's happening to your wife across the way, and they take the baby from her. No, I won't let you take Sean, and the baddie shoots your wife. And then turns and looks at you and says, "Well, at least we got the backup. Stay cool." And then he leaves, and then you freeze again, right? So then, when you finally defrost and there's klaxons going off, apparently, something's gone wrong. There's nothing you can do for your wife. She's gone, and all of your neighbors, it turns out, that were in the other pods have all died from asphyxia, because when the defrost happened and reset, all of their pods failed. So you literally are the last survivor. And now you're going out there to find your son. Okay. So that's the establishing story. You return to your home where Cogsworth is still tending dead flowers in the front yard. But ever faithful, he's been there for 200 years doing it. And so he's your first link to what's going on in the world. And what you
does he sound English?
He does. Mr. Troy, so good to see you. Oh, you do look the worse for wear. Yeah, it's actually really, really pretty cool. But anyway, what was I? Oh yeah. So you've kind of quickly realized that this town, Sanctuary Hills, which was your hometown, is now abandoned except for Cogsworth, and a few rad roaches, but and bloat flies. We'll get to that in a second. But it's the first introductory, teach you how to do combat kind of thing. Rad roaches are roaches that are this big. And bloat flies are equally large, and they shoot their maggots at you. It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. And oh, I'm sorry. I've been ignoring the chat. I did miss it. There was a presentation for today?
Oh, yes, I sent you a couple articles after. You must have missed it. But, you can upload it during the break. It just has some images from Fallout 4, that's all, and some results.
I actually didn't have... Let me real quick.
I sent it to you again, so if you need it again. Okay. But like I said, you've been doing a great job. I didn't want to interrupt you.
No, that's fine. Let me... give me a second here.
Anyway, I don't even know if the images were of anything, because I was just thinking, well, what are some cool looking images from Fallout?
I can add. Give me just a second here. Kind of breaking protocol here. Bear with me. I guess I should download it first, shouldn't I? Did you send it? Did you send it on X or MeWe?
MeWe.
That makes sense. Makes sense.
I just sent it to you again, so yeah. But anyway, no, it sounds neat. I remember Fallout 3 with the rad roach meat, but that was Fallout 3.
Well, yeah, apparently this is something that I'm missing in the game, because there is a lot of lore. They are very true to the lore of the previous games.
Yes.
There are characters from Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 3 that show up in Fallout 4, and I have no idea, and that's fine, because your character is, after all, unaware of the events of that. He was in cryosleep the whole time, which is actually a great storytelling way of doing it. Let me add media from upload from disk. I think it was in here. Here we go. Give it a second to upload. I don't know why my PDFs take so long to upload, but it gives me an opportunity to drink.
Anyways,
Actually, let me pause here and ask you, Boomer, do you have any experience with Fallout at all?
I played 3 for a bit on the PlayStation 3. I remember hearing back in the day, though, that sometimes these games would crash your PlayStation 3. I don't think Fallout was as bad as Skyrim. I think I read online I was going to get the Skyrim Super Duper Edition, and then they were like, yeah, but it's always crashing the PlayStation 3, and they can't fix it. I'm like, well, then you're not getting my money. However, when I got a PlayStation 4, I got it for that, so they re-released it on PlayStation 4.
I will say this, and I'm reading online that apparently this is true of like all Bethesda games. Apparently, Bethesda games tend to be buggy as shit, and it doesn't help if you add mods to it in any way. Although sometimes the mods help. They're there specifically because the gamers, the fans are correcting the problems left in by. Let me just set this up here. Fade out. I need to put this below us.
Now,
where is it?
To be fair, in Bethesda's defense, the PlayStation 3 architecture was very different from that of a PC. It's the 360 was a lot easier for them to port it over to because I guess it was Microsoft, so it wasn't that radical. These didn't crash as much on that. Sony got very arrogant at the end of the 7th generation of consoles because they were number one for the past 2 generations. They thought we can release this $600 thing, which has a Blu-ray drive and has a radically different architecture for programming the games. I think it used what they called the Emotion Engine, and they got support, but it was out of the box. They recouped later on, but at the beginning it was a disaster. Yeah.
Mark says, last call of Troy Pacelli. Gach, shooting globbies. Forget Meals on Wheels. Meals on Wings. Yeah, that's true. Literally, this is... you know how these games are. You could play easy mode. You could play, survival mode and whatnot. Survival is...
Play God mode.
Well, God mode is nothing can kill you. Whereas survival mode is everything can kill you. Literally, you get a little nick, you can get an infection and die. You can die of dysentery. But especially in survival mode, you live by survival rules, and that means everything you kill, potentially you eat. Unfortunately, because it's a blasted out radiation filled wasteland, you got to temper starvation with radiation poisoning. So there is that element of it as well. Let's see what you got going. Let's see what you. Whoops. In video games, an open world is a virtual world in which the player can approach objectives freely, as opposed to a world with more linear and structured games. Yeah, they try to still put a storyline and somewhat linear storyline into it, but it's way more branching, and decisions close to you, and so on and so forth.
It's tricky. Part of me doesn't. I often, a while back, tried to think of video game genres, but sometimes there's a lot of bleed over, and it's always hard to tell. What are the origins of the open world game? I know that X-Play years ago, if we want to follow X-Play, they had actually credited Ocarina of Time not so much as being the first open world game, but it paved the way for open world games like Grand Theft Auto later on and things like that. Whereas because Ocarina of Time was the first time you had this big 3D space where you go to different towns and things would change throughout the game depending on the time of day or depending on events that happened today. Things would change in the game, and they say they felt that was one of the big things. But let's go into...
Well, I will argue that even before that, though, like I was saying during Liquid Lunch, there was the Ultima games that, although the graphics were very, very, Commodore 64, Pitfall Harry actually was good graphics by comparison. This was Space Invaders type.
But you had
graphics.
worlds, you had lands you could traverse over. Same
You had
goes
lands
for
that you could go
Yeah.
to. You had to follow maps.
same went for the original Legend of Zelda. And even
although
the
you
games
have
before that,
objectives, you could ignore those objectives and just keep doing fights and amassing treasure and all that kind of stuff. Effectively, it is an open world game.
But these are some popular ones. Red Dead Redemption, obviously, that's the big Western open world game. Grand Theft Auto 5.
That one actually looks very interesting to me too.
That might be your next one to try when you're done with the Fallout games.
I've got a lot of Fallout though.
Yeah.
The only thing I know about that one you just said.
Red Dead Redemption.
Is
It's a Western.
From Viva La Dirt League, because they'll do video shorts on playing it and making it hysterical on how badly they can F it up.
Well, from what I've heard, they're riffing on things that are, kind of humorous in the game itself. But The Witcher, I've heard some good things about. The whole
Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, big deal.
Henry Cavill walking away from a show because they wouldn't follow the canon.
Yeah, and Grand Theft Auto, of course, which we're still waiting on Grand Theft Auto 6. They are taking forever with that game.
Probably for
Grand
the
Theft
best,
Auto
from
5.
what I've heard. Behind
I'm worried, but we have to wait for it to come out before we know for sure.
One of the things that they're saying in Fallout is rush to market resulted in a lot of functionality that was built into the game not actually being there. Things as simple as you go in and you create a robot in the robot station. You can't unmake it, even though there is a prompt for like recycle or whatever. It just doesn't do anything. And so there are, of course, programmers out there that have made mods that are like, we're reestablishing the functionality that Bethesda didn't bother to fucking finish. Oh yeah, by the way, if you're new here, the more I drink, the more blue my language gets. Sorry, that's just part of the show.
You like him?
It's okay. Deleted scenes dropped the F-bomb in chat, so.
Oh, good, and it actually made it through because I don't really have restrictions on the chat.
Is there cussing in Fallout, just out of curiosity?
Oh yes,
tons, and it ticks me off every time they use the GD word.
Well, but the nice thing is, it's usually the bad guys that do the GD, and I get to blow their heads off. And I do mean blow their heads off. I go for the headshots all the time. And you know how these games go. You got a dead body there, you got to loot it. And I loot it down to the skivvies. Or in the female case, completely buck-ass naked.
What's this name of this young character?
The programmer wrote it.
Yeah, exactly. But you take the helmet off after a headshot. You killed them with a headshot. You take their helmet off, and the skull just falls apart into a bloody mess. The eyeballs roll. I mean, it's very graphic. Sometimes you shoot and the head is blown completely off, and then the body lies there and the neck, bleeds out for a couple seconds. It's graphic.
What's even more disturbing is when he kills something and blows it apart, and he'll go up to like the hand and collect all the goodies from the hand.
Yeah, one part represents the whole, so you can take the head and remove everything it was carrying. It's weird, but it's game mechanics.
Do you have a dog in the game?
Absolutely.
Dog meat.
Dog meat is a staple of all the Fallouts. It's not necessarily the same breed. It's not necessarily the same dog, but they are all called dog meat. And if you have watched the show Fallout on, I think it's Amazon Prime, dog meat also factors into it. There's a lot of, as I'm playing this game, I'm seeing a lot of things that I saw in the show, and I'm like, oh, well, that's where that comes from. I get it, But anyway, Red Rocket, and Netter and I can't say Red Rocket without going yum. Even though it's not a restaurant, it's meant to be like a. It's meant to be like a gas station.
Okay.
Yeah, like a gas station. But they don't use gas, they use coolant because the cars are fusion powered. So you have to keep
you have to keep them
into
cool.
Yes, exactly right. So instead of gas tanks, you have coolant tanks, which is actually really cool. But the interior of the Red Rocket, well, the Red Rocket also has a bay for like, yeah, you kind of can't see it there. But on the other side of that Red Rocket, there would be a garage area that has, what do you call it? A station for you to work on your power armor and other
like
armor.
the guy
and
on
weapons and
the
stuff
show
like that.
has.
Power armor
Exactly
station.
right. Exactly right. Oh, dude, I thought that power armor was like something really, really rare. I'm in my second playthrough. I barely into the game, and I've already accumulated more than a dozen suits of power armor. They're all over the frickin' place. They're just looking for you to find them. Sometimes you'll find two, and you'll tell your companion, "Hey, I need you to put this on so we can take it back." But
Is that dog meat right there?
that is dog meat, and let me tell you, dog meat. You meet him at Red Rocket, okay? And he immediately becomes your companion. He's different from all the other companions in the game because with all the other companions, they judge you. Different actions have a positive or negative effect on you.
Really?
You're trying to get to a maximum affinity with those characters, and you will gain a certain benefit in the game. Like this guy McCready, he's an ex-mercenary, so he likes it whenever you do something violent, you pick locks, things like that. If you're smug and arrogant, he likes that. He doesn't like it so much when you're nice, when you apologize, when you spare somebody, stuff like that, which makes it a difficult playthrough.
Whereas one of the companions has an orgasm.
Oh, yeah. So
Bring
she wants to bring back the theme of the night, right? There's this little Irish pixie girl that you meet up with who's just a horn dog, and if you flirt with another girl, she's okay with it because she wants to turn it into a threesome. I kid you not.
And she spends a lot of time going, if you stop looking at my arse, we can get something going on here or something.
Yeah, exactly. We can get more done if you stop staring at my
looking
ass.
at my
And I'm
arse.
like, for crying out loud, I'm not even staring at your... Well, okay, now I am. But she loves it when you pick locks. And I said to Netter, because you're there and you're picking a lock, and all of a sudden up in the corner you'll see, what's her name? I forget her name. Liked that. And she'll make a comment. And I'm like, it's like she has a little mini orgasm every time I pick a lock. But anyway.
It gets her excited, I guess.
The reason I bring that mechanic up, is because it's different with dog meat. Although dog meat doesn't bestow a specific special benefit on you, he's a good boy. And he is faithful from the beginning. There is no affinity because he's fully all sold out right from the beginning. And I'm like, that's pretty damn awesome.
And he'll pick up stuff, and then you'll go like, okay, who did you pickpocket to get this?
Exactly. I hope that my stats, my mana or karma or whatever it is, isn't being affected by him stealing from people. Because he'll just go and take shit. And later on, I'll go to give him some dog food, and I'll find weapons and ammo and other junk in his inventory. I'm like, the fuck is this? He's stealing from people, and yes, he does steal. I've learned that online.
Good boy.
Good boy. He's a good boy. He's looking out for me. There's no doubt about that.
Is the dog food just for the dog, or can you eat it also as a NPC, as a main character?
You can eat it, and apparently there's some raiders that really enjoy dog food. There's you can read a log entry where one of the raider captains is telling one of his underlings, if I catch you stealing dog food again, I'm gonna blow your head off. That's for the dogs, you dumbass.
Well, if it's real meat, that may be...
Again, this is the concept. This is survival. It'll keep you alive,
When we got ours... Yeah.
Go ahead, yeah.
No, I remember a dog we had a while ago, we gave him wet dog food. It made him a very picky eater. we got our next dog, it was dry. We said, no, you're eating the dry. I'm sorry, but
You got to be careful with that though, because it can lead to kidney problems if they're not.
we've
getting
heard
enough
about that
milk.
now. To be fair, though, she lasted a while.
Oh, yeah.
She made it to old age. But yeah, I've seen commercials where they're like, yeah, I think they're making better dry than they used to. But I think we used to.
Well,
do
there's that, and
Purina.
as long as you are giving the dog sufficient liquids,
Yeah, and we give her people food sometimes, like dinner scraps sometimes too. But yeah,
as long as you're careful, because that can mess up their
you got to be
stomach
careful what
and
you
the
give
stuff.
them. Yes, but
But
yeah,
I will say this though, when it comes to dog, this is a little bit of a departure, but when it comes to dog food, they're marketing it to you because you are the one buying it. So when you open it and you see it and you smell it,
Oh,
it should
yes,
smell
good
yummy
stuff.
to you.
Yes.
Exactly. Because if you think it smells good, you will assume your dog likes it. And honestly, your dog's going to frickin' eat anything.
I'm thinking
Dog
of
could
that.
not care less.
Right.
It licks its own butt.
Well,
I'm
that's
thinking of that scene from The Road Warrior. Remember, he's Mad Max is eating the dog food.
yeah, on his fingers, right?
Ugh. Ugh.
I would bet real money that there are dog owners out there that just for the hell of it have tasted their dog food. Just tasted it, you know.
Did I try taking a bite out of a dog biscuit once, or was it a friend of mine? I don't remember. They're not good.
I tried a piece of kibble once. It was not disgusting, but not yummy.
No.
And that's about all I can say about that. But there you go. So yes, dog meat is a good boy. One of the benefits is there is a perk called the Lone Wanderer, where you get special benefits if you're wandering alone. Dog meat does not detract from that. You still get the benefits of Lone Wanderer as long as dog meat is with you, as well as some other benefits for.
That's a big gun.
Yeah, deleted scene says once by accident, and suddenly I was thinking of Clark in Superman 3. You know, oh, this pate is wonderful. Pate, I didn't. Yeah, Clark, that's the dog food. Oh, well, it's good. Don't eat that. That's for the dog.
You know what I liked about that scene is that he actually made it funny, and he's like, I want some. Remember that? Like he didn't do the typical Clark thing where he would have been all weird. He actually says, you know, it's not
I
bad.
feel like they were laying the groundwork for the Clark that was with Lana was more the natural Clark.
Yes.
It wasn't completely, but it was laying the groundwork for that because
Somewhere between him and Superman, basically.
exactly,
Yeah, yeah.
exactly, because both for him are kind of projected for public consumption. He plays the bumbling goof as Clark Kent. He plays the superhero, fully, you know, in control superhero, and neither one is really him, right? I do like that in the 80s when John Byrne kind of did the reboot, he made Clark, God bless you, much more, God bless you,
Thank you.
much less the affectation and more this just is who he is. He doesn't even try. He does put on the glasses, right? He does, you know, look different from, but in his manner. Oh, and he also pretends that he works out. You know, there's a scene early on where Lois comes over to his apartment to meet up with him, not for a date or anything like that. She's picking him up to go somewhere, and he says, "I'll be ready in just a minute." And he's in the bathroom, you know, using the heat vision to shave, but she doesn't see him doing that. But he turns on his razor, zzz, so it sound, you know, he's faking it, right? And she goes to, he's got his weight equipment out, and she's curling one of his weights, and she goes, "How the hell do you stay Mr. Hardbody with such child weights? I work out with twice this level of weight." And you see his thought bubble going, "I really need to think this through. You know, none of this weighs anything to me. I got to figure out what would be appropriate for a man of my size and build, and it's literally just there as a prop, Thank you so much, Geek Flag with Nate knows $2 super chat
Nate.
to say God bless you.
Yeah, I don't know why I got sneezes.
Oh, do you need? Because you don't.
Because you brought me my.
I did bring you two.
I will take one though.
There you
Because
go.
you offered.
There you go. You want to honor my? Oh, you want two?
Yeah, that's right.
One for each side. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, here you go. You've got the power armor. I have not yet learned the different styles of armor. I only know them when I look at them and I'm building, and improving my armor. There's like T45, T50, 51, 60, the X, 100 or something like that. I forget.
And the pretty colors you can make with them.
And that gets to one of the things that open worlds and games like this have is downloadable content, right? Some of it is fan made, some of it's done by the company, and a lot of it is different outfits or different color schemes for your power armor and stuff like that. And I'm
leaf blower.
I am. It does look like a leaf blower, isn't it? What that actually is, it's something I've never gotten or used, but it allows you to fire off baseballs as projectiles, is what it is. She is in a place called Diamond City, which is real world. I forget the name of the stadium, but it's Boston's baseball stadium.
Oh.
I don't remember what it's called, but it's become Diamond City. And this bloke in the background is an NPC who is selling baseball memorabilia, but he doesn't understand baseball. He thinks that baseball was a gladiatorial game that was fought in this arena that they're in, that is Diamond City, and that the bats were used to beat each other to death with. And I think he calls them something like clobberers or something like that. I can't remember. And it's like, and you're 200 years old, so you saw real baseball games, and you're like, that's not how baseball works. And he's like, well, screw you. What do you know? It's like, well, I know, because I actually used to watch baseball games. But, whatever.
That's funny.
But there's actually, it's very unlikely of a picture of it. There's another device that shoots modified bowling balls. There's a whole story that goes into it. You find an old, abandoned, bombed out bowling alley, and as you go through and you clear out the ghouls that are there and so forth, you can access computer terminals and find out that they had a league there back before the war, and one of the league members before the Battle of Anchorage that you fought in, he enlisted and went off to service, and when he came back, he was paralyzed from the waist down, so he's in a wheelchair. So all the guys in the league came up with an idea so that he could still bowl, and that was to make a launcher that would shoot a bowling ball down the alley But unfortunately, they needed to put an inhibitor on it because it was so strong it literally blew out the back of the alley. And as you're searching, yes, indeed, you literally find a hole in the back wall the size of a bowling ball from them testing it, and so it's really cool. It's a weapon that you could find and then use in the game. This attention to detail is actually kind of a cool thing. I really like it.
Sounds neat.
He did. I never got that weapon. Yeah, exactly. So Jesse, and welcome, by the way, Jesse. You've played this game, Fallout 4.
Look at that gun.
So that is, I can tell you exactly what that weapon is. That is a laser musket. So one of the factions that you can join, personally, They are one of the weakest, but I think they are the best, philosophically speaking, is the Minutemen. And in one of your earliest, following the main storyline, you rescue the last remnants of a group called the Minutemen, fighting off a group of raiders. They're kind of held down, and you go in and you just frickin' save their asses and say, hey, come on back with me to Sanctuary. This is my old hometown. You can set up shop there. Their weapon is a laser musket. Now, muskets, historically speaking, and it fits with the whole Minuteman concept, right? Were an advanced blunderbuss, basically, and they were front loading, kind of things to kind of mimic that in a laser, atomic punk kind of method. It has a crank, so every time you shoot it, you got to crank up the electricity to discharge your laser shots, and because you can improve it to have like 6 cranks so that it can get to really high shots, but again, it's only a 1 shot. But there are things you could do to automate it and so on and so forth. And I've actually seen cosplayers make this using LEDs and stuff like that. And,
really?
Yeah. And they look at the models in the computer and they either figure out what actual real world items were looked at by the designers and replicate those, or they just 3D print things. It's actually pretty cool. But yes, that is a laser musket is what that is.
Okay.
And I love the fact that go back one, that it says your target is raider scum, and it's in red, so this is not a friendly. You can feel free to blow his head off. Just
Raider scum,
or raider psycho. Sometimes it's raider psycho, and they have different characters. Like the raider psycho is psycho. And when you fight your way through them and you get into their lair, you see like disembodied heads on pikes and headless bodies strung up and stuff like that. Yeah, these are psychos. These guys need to die. They need to die.
So we're at a little over the hour mark. Did you want to do your promos?
Nah. I don't have. Well, I do have but it's an old commercial break. Yes, I did not get the promos ready for tonight because I was too busy playing Fallout.
Look at that robot, man.
Yes, that is a brand of robot called an I don't remember what it's called, but her specific name is Ada. She is one that can become your companion. She is a different kind of companion. You don't build an affinity with her, and you don't get a special benefit from her. But that is from the DLC Automaton, which gives you the ability to build your own robots and assign robots to certain duties in your sanctuaries and so forth. Yes, I love Fallout game. Hence, you've seen TV show. I need season 2. Yeah. It's a great show. It really is. It's what hooked me. It's what hooked me. When Fallout did really well on Amazon, I watched it and I really liked it. And Bethesda was smart. They were like, hey, let's do a sale on Fallout and get people. And I went and I bought all the DLC for Fallout 4. I bought Fallout New Vegas, and I got hooked just like that. But yes, I've been going crazy with the mods too. So that is a Mr. Handy robot. That is the kind of robot that
shine your shoes.
Well, yeah, or cut off your leg if you notice that on the lower left there.
And then you got the ASAM Sparklies.
Yeah, I'll get to that. But this is the kind of robot that your butler Cogsworth is. And there's not much modification you could do to Cogsworth, although I do have him wearing a bowler hat, just because it seems appropriate. But I think this one specifically might be Curie. Might be. There is a storyline in which you get into a different vault than the one you came out of. It's a functioning vault with people in it, and they're surviving. They're doing some trading with the outside world, and you are able to help them in a number of ways, and you can pick up vault suits from them and other kinds of materials and whatnot. Cool. But one of the side stories is you realize that there is a closed off section of the vault where they were doing an experiment on a particular disease, and Curie here was involved in that. Curie, obviously named for Madame Curie. She has a French accent, and at the end of the mission, she can become a companion of yours. And you can romance her. Yes, you can romance a robot who eventually decides that in order to continue researching medical science, she needs something that humans have that robots don't, and that's inspiration. And the only way she could do that is if she could become human. Can you help me do that? Well, you can't really help her become human, but you can download the sum total of her memories and personality into a synthetic human. I haven't mentioned that before, but yeah. Anyone who is a fan of Terminator and or Blade Runner, you could almost think of it as part of this world, or Westworld. You know, there's a lot of inspiration between this and Westworld in the way that the synths are made, and you are able to download her into a synthetic female body that will also be able to be romanced. And
yeah, baby.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm talking. What was that movie, Galaxina or something back in the day? You might remember.
Don't know, but I'm gonna have to check it out. I think I don't know.
You should check it out. It's a comic bit. It was made by that Playboy Playmate who unfortunately got murdered by her husband. That was
Sharon Tate.
Yeah, she was in it. Yeah, she was Galaxina, and it's funny they make fun of Mr. Spock in one scene too. There's
I would imagine
Star Trek stuff in there. Yeah, it's a comedy. But
anti-derivative Jill plays Fallout. Okay, cool. I'll have to check out. I mean, I know her and I follow her, but I'll have to check out specifically that content. That's Sexbot. I don't know if you guys have been watching the Fallout TV series, but they make a reference to something that does come from the game. A Protectron robot. It looks a lot like Robbie the Robot, you know. And somebody has reprogrammed it into a Fistbot. I'm not going to say anything more about that, but it definitely comes up in the game in the show. They reference it, and oh my gosh, that's
disturbing.
That's very
that's
disturbing.
a little disturbing.
It's very, very disturbing. In fact, the character in the show takes advantage of the Fistbot function, and you later come to realize that he hates and regrets all of his life choices, and is perfectly okay with submitting himself to an experiment that wipes all of his memories. Are you okay with a complete reset of your memories? Yes, please.
So that's a ghoul, correct?
That is a ghoul, and specifically, that is that's somebody that I've never met in the game. Remember the war, the nuclear war.
What is this war? Who was it between? How did this happen?
It was between the United States and China.
Okay.
And there is discussion over who started the war and whether it was actually China or the U.S. or some third faction that wanted both sides to destroy the world. But regardless,
like Blofeld or somebody.
Yeah, this is the captain of one of the nuclear subs from the war who survived because he ended up becoming a ghoul. And I really don't know his storyline because I only know about him from online videos. I have not actually encountered him, but yes, he's a ghoul. So that's the thing, right? So they play very fast and loose with the rules of radiation. Most people die from radiation, but there is a small percentage of people that actually thrive from radiation. Think of it like the equivalent of kryptonite to, an average Kryptonian, as opposed to kryptonite to, Bizarro, right? Whereas, it'll kill most Kryptonians, but a Bizarro will get stronger from it and be sustained by it. Well, radiation actually heals and sustains ghouls so that they can live, over 200 years. So as you meet some ghouls, some of them are old enough to remember the same era that you grew up in. So you're able to have that kind of a conversation with them, like, hey, remember the World Series of 2076? Yeah, I do. I was there. I saw it, and stuff like that.
Interesting.
But there is a downside to being, well, you see the downside, right? You lose your nose, you lose your hair, your skin, leathers up. But there's also the possibility of becoming feral. A feral ghoul is essentially, essentially a zombie, right? They sit in torpor until someone shows up, and then they attack you and try to eat you and tear you apart. And the game seems to have a higher propensity to run into these when you go past a cemetery at night. Just seems that way.
Okay. It's kind of ghoulish.
It is very ghoulish. So, of course, you can imagine that these regular ghouls have a hard time integrating into society because everyone's afraid they're going to turn feral. Well, I mean, it's enough that they look different and they're, almost immortal, which is enough reason for you to resent them. But then you have the danger of them possibly turning feral, and you get real angry.
There's a mission, I want to say it was in Fallout 3, I'm giving you a little bit of a spoiler, where you can decide, like, there's this apartment complex and the ghouls want to move in. They're being, kept out. You can't rent here or something, right? Or you can't get a home here. And I think if you fight for the ghouls to get there, you go to visit the place later on, and there are no more humans in the place. And they say, don't go down into the basement. You may notice a smell there. Just ignore it. And, basically I think they killed all the people that were there after they moved in.
Yeah, I can imagine.
What is wrong with this world?
What's actually cool about the whole existence of ghouls is that it lends itself to zombie themed type stories.
Yeah.
So Rad Roach. Oh, this is disgusting. There is a side quest where you investigate. I mentioned this in the Liquid Lunch. There is a side quest where you meet a ghoul who basically is about as old as you are, except he lived through the past 200 years. You have not. And you share an interest in an old radio drama called the Silver Shroud, which is absolutely the Shadow. There's no doubt about it. And he's such a big fan that he wants you to become the new Silver Shroud for real. And he tells you to go to Hubris Comics, which had started a movie studio, and they were filming a Silver Shroud movie when the bombs dropped. And when you get there, your goal is to get there to get the costume so that you could become the Silver Shroud. When you get there and you read through like the computer entries, you realize that there was some shenanigans going on behind the scenes. The fans, for example, wanted the voice actress for the female lead to be cast as the character, and the producer said, or the director said, no, she's too old for the role. We want to go with so and so. She's under contract and she's younger. And all the fans were like, she doesn't look the role. She doesn't sound the role.
Nope.
She's not right for the role. And so you totally get. I have to believe that whoever wrote this story for Bethesda was tapping into all the bull crap that goes on with these filmed
Fans
adaptations.
get mad, yes.
Oh, thank you. Netter brought me some munchies. It's cheese. It's just cheese.
Okay.
But,
That's fine.
yeah, the
They
silver.
probably have rad roach cheese in the apocalypse, right?
No, Brahmin cheese. So cows have mutated. They have no hair and 2 heads. I kid you not. And because all the Brahmin look the same, you have to wonder, are they like both genders?
Maybe they reproduce asexually. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. They don't really get into it. What's even worse is the deer, the rad stags. They also have 2 heads, but like one of the heads has like front legs coming out of its neck.
Ew.
It's actually kind of sad, but it is what it is. There are hairless mutated bear that roam the wasteland. They're called, I don't remember what they're called, but it's like the Mandarin word for bear. And yeah, they're rough. Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, because Brahmin exist, they give milk, and you can make cheese from their Brahmin milk. So it's Brahmin cheese. So.
And what's weird to me is that their feeding stations is basically an old bathtub.
Because what else are you going to use as a trough for a cow in the apocalypse?
They can't build one.
I guess they could.
I guess it's all about using what's around you, right? Yes.
Exactly.
So is this a bad person? I tried looking up villains.
It's really hard to say. I consider him a villain. I don't like this guy.
He's a jerk.
He really is. He is what all the lefties would caricaturize the righties as. He's racist. He's bigoted. He's authoritarian. And apparently, he's a character from Fallout 3 that the main character would have encountered as a kid, like a 16-year-old kid.
Now he's an adult. Okay.
Now he's an adult. He's taken over the Brotherhood of Steel, and yeah, there's benefits to being a member of the Brotherhood of Steel. You get access to technology. You get easy access to power armor, but you know they want you to kill everyone, and most of the time your goals align. They want you to go wipe out a bunch of mutants. Okay, usually wiping out mutants is a good thing. They tend to be the bad guys. Very rare exceptions, a mutant turns out to be a good guy that you don't want to kill. They want you to wipe out the synths. Again, by and large, the synths are our enemies. But every now and again, you've got the whole Blade Runner storyline where you've got synths that aren't bad. They just want to survive and be left alone. And you're like, well, I'm not going to wipe them out. You know, I'm not going to. Kind of the whole story that Decker goes through, right? Which I'll get back to that later. And ghouls. They want you to wipe out ghouls. Well, feral ghouls, absolutely, you got to wipe those out. But you know, just because they're afflicted doesn't necessarily make them evil. So no, not so much. So yeah, there eventually comes a point where you either side with them and decide you're evil and you are willing to commit genocide, or you got to turn on them. And it's actually kind of rough because one of your companions is actually a really good guy. And I don't want to give any spoilers, but you end up having to turn on him if you want to stay with the Brotherhood. And of course you don't, and you side with him against the Brotherhood. And yeah, it's some hard decisions there. But yeah, this guy's a jerk, and when you finally get to kill him, it's very, very satisfying. It's very satisfying.
Another ghoul.
Okay, so this is a ghoul who's not so good. He's not a feral ghoul, but he was a feral human being in life. You can think of him. I don't know if they based him on a real world personality. Think of it like a John Gotti type of character, you know, a mafioso that was really not. Huh?
Make you an offer you can't refuse.
More of an enforcer, wannabe, a boss type.
Okay.
And he's no bueno. And you end up running into. You partner up with, it's part of the main storyline, so I can say it almost has to happen. You encounter a synth, and he's very obviously a synth. He's, imagine a Terminator without skin wearing detective's clothes and a fedora. That's what this guy is, okay? He's got the personality of a detective from the 2070s. So he has all of his memories and everything. And he knows he's not that person, but it's his memories, you know? And he's got a grudge against this guy. And the reason he's got a grudge against this guy is because this guy killed Nick Valentine, the original Nick Valentine's girlfriend. And so he says, look, I know I'm not Nick Valentine for real. I know she wasn't really my girlfriend, but I feel a need to straighten this out. So one of the missions is to go and track this guy down. And part of it, to find out where he is you go to all these different police precincts where he's been arrested and find holotapes that were used as evidence. And so if you're questioning whether Nick Valentine, the synth, is being straight and level with you, you got the evidence. You're like, yeah, this guy was a fucking dirtbag who deserves to die. I'm good doing
what?
It. Oh yeah.
Now I have one question for you: is facial moisturizer in low supply in the post-apocalypse? Because he
I think it's funny because some jokes like that do come up, but it does seem to be implied that their skin is dead. And that's why it literally is leather. So you literally can't do anything to improve it. What you'll notice, though, is I did say their hair falls out. Whenever you see a synth like this that has hair, they're wearing a wig.
I liked in the series when they run into a ghoul and he's, you know, and the funny thing about whoever Walter Goggins plays. Walter Goggins plays. I forget what his character's name. I guess he's just the ghoul, but he's actually being kind of nice to the guy before he plugs him, right? You know, he's like talking about apple pie and ice cream, you know. and then he starts cutting off pieces of his butt. Gross. Remember that?
Oh God!
And he said it's for the journey because I guess he needs something to snack on. And then he's like, "Wait, why am I doing this?" And then he said, "Makes her do it." Remember? It was like...
There's a scene in the Fallout TV show where the ghoul, the main one of the main characters, encounters another ghoul who is in the process of turning feral.
Yeah, that was the one. Scene I'm talking about. Yeah.
Oh yeah, so you know exactly what I'm talking about. What's really rough about that scene? Okay, I didn't realize you were talking about the same scene. Yeah. What's really rough about that scene is that you're right. He was very nice to him, and it's partly because he's not killing the guy out of malice. He's more doing it out of mercy.
Yes.
And it comes off. I mean, whether it was intentional or not, it seems very obviously an echo of Mice and Men. You know, think of the bunny rabbits. You know,
he did it. I think he was trying. He was actually being nice to him up until, and then he catches him. I think he does it while the guy's head turned and just does it. So
exactly. It's like he gets him talking, gets his mind off of what's going on, and then ends him as quickly and painlessly as possible. And then yes, I mean he's now a dead body, and you know.
I need
you
the
gotta- yeah.
I need
exactly.
the rump roast jerky for the road. As it
By
were.
the way, one of the little lore twists is that particular ghoul that we're talking about actually is that main character that you see, the Fallout Boy giving the thumbs up.
Yeah.
And they give the whole origin that he
Oh, I
was the
see.
mascot. He was the mascot for Vault Tech, doing all the promos because he used to be an actor. And he, was well respected, and he's the one that did the thumbs up that became caricaturized in all of their promotional materials. So Pip-Boy is this what is his name? Walter something or other? I forget what the character's name is, but the Ghoul in
The
in
Ghoul. I know he was an actor before he became the Ghoul. They do flashbacks, but yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see if I got.
And
more
I forget
here.
the actor's name too, but he's been really great with the fans. I mean, he clearly doesn't know the lore as well as the gal that plays Lucy.
Right.
But
Well, she's probably played the games because she's younger.
She has.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
said they told me I didn't have to, but I'm enjoying this game.
Yes.
Oh, that's a great weapon. It's the minigun. You're able to use it just as a regular character, but they imply that it's so heavy you need to wear a power armor to use it. That's not really the case. The thing about it is this is a high-speed Gatling gun, and it overheats the way an old-fashioned Gatling gun absolutely would. So it takes a while to spin up. So if you start shooting, don't go off the hip. You need to have time before it starts spewing lead. And then once it does, it starts to overheat and it will shut down on you. So you got to be sparing. Just like with a real automatic rifle. Those things will blow up in your hand if you push them too hard. So you need to pert, and let it cool off. Don't blow off all your ammo.
That's what she said.
Absolutely true.
Just another picture. I don't know.
So this guy, let me move myself so I can get a good look at him. This could be the main character, or it could be one of the gunners.
So, honey, you're saying don't have a complete and total orgasm?
Right, exactly. It's possible to pick up the clothing from your enemies. So, it's entirely possible a main character could pick up and use the armor from the gunners that he's put down and stuff. The gunners being a paramilitary group. You need to just put them down.
All right. And let's see if we got anything else here. Who's this dude? Cletus? What is his name?
I can't remember his name. I just encountered him playing. This is the second playthrough, so it's the second time I've encountered
And
him.
I can't figure out whether or not he wants to sell his dog.
He shows up, and you start talking to him, and he wants to sell his dog. But he doesn't. It's very clear that he loves his dog, and it's only parting with her because he needs the money and can't afford to take care of her anymore. And it's actually really sweet. And you can pay the caps and buy the dog, and then you can send the dog to any one of your settlements. The upside to that is it raises the happiness of your settlement, as you would expect a dog would. But he's kind of sad about having to do it, and you have to convince him that you'll give her a good home.
Can you be a bad person in these games? Like, could you decide just to shoot this guy and say, "I'll just steal your dog and kill you"?
Absolutely can.
Wow.
And a lot of people do it that way. There's mechanics for pickpocketing, for murder. I'll be honest with you. I start out playing as a 100% good guy, but there do come times where I go full Punisher, and I just walk in, like one of the radiant quests that you get. please, you gotta help me. My brother, sister, cousin, friend has been kidnapped and being held by these raiders, and they want me to pay, but I can't afford it. You are given the option to pay, but I never do. I'm like, don't worry, I'll take care of it. And I just walk in and just boom, 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 before they even look up. I'm shooting them in the back of the head, and I'm just walking through and just killing each one of them before they even have a chance to say anything. Boom.
What?
Some of them before they even know it, because it's like, screw you. I'm sick of you raiding my towns, killing people, and kidnapping. You're just gonna die. This is frontier justice, and and I'm a soldier, and this is the Wild West. I hear Red Rocket, and I think of the Diner franchise. Yeah, that's why Netter and I got to stop here at Red Rocket. And Netter and I will both go, Red Rocket, yum.
I like the burgers. They have good burgers there.
So yeah, and that's one of the things I do when a Red Rocket happened. Well, there's really only one place that I know of where a Red Rocket, the whole Red Rocket is your potential what do you call it, sanctuary location or whatever, and I turn it into, as much as possible, I restore the Red Rocket, as it is, for fixing up power armor and stuff like that. But inside, I make it, so that it sells coffee and food and all that kind of stuff for the business aspect of it. So yeah, and in the future, what I might do is I might put tables out in place of where the coolant tanks are, so that people can sit and have a meal and whatnot. So yeah, yeah, that's the other thing. You can get Preston Garvey. I like him and I hate him.
Is he Cowboy? What is he? He's just like Cowboy.
So he's one of the he's the last of the Minutemen. He's
okay.
Like I said, you go into Concord and you end up rescuing these guys and sending them back to Sanctuary. This scene is taking place in Sanctuary. I can tell because that is one of the homes from Sanctuary. So you rescue him. He's one of the last survivors. And he honestly thought that the Minutemen were done for. And all they want to do, they are a militia that is trying to help people in the Commonwealth to form different sanctuaries and take care of themselves, be self-sufficient, and share resources. So, learn to defend your own territory from raiders, and if you need help, call on the Minutemen and we'll come help you. And let's face it, that's probably the most noble, most American cause, in this thing. But he's one of the last, and it looks like they're going to get wiped out. But when you come along, Mr. Player character, you have the ability to really turn things around for them. So he says, "Look, I'm the last Minuteman, so I have the right to do this. You're now our general." Because I'm not a leader of men. I can lead a team in a mission. I can't lead a whole movement. I think you've got what it takes. So what he does is every time he gets a call from a town that needs help from the Minutemen, he'll send you there. You go clear out the raiders. You go rescue them from the mutants, whatever it is. And they say, you know what? We see the value of the Minutemen. We'll join your cause. And so you create this network of all these institutions, and of course you have to help maintain them. You make sure that they have food, water, or at least the ability to farm food and water for themselves, defend themselves, set up turrets and stuff to protect them and whatnot. When they get raided, occasionally go and help them out. And as you go up in level, so too do the Minutemen. So you start to see Minutemen out in the Commonwealth doing patrol. And when you walk by, General.
Okay.
pretty cool. It's pretty cool. But yeah, that's pressing. But the reason that so many people get to hate him is because it's like every damn time you see him, he's like, "Oh, I've got another settlement that needs your assistance," and it's like, ah. So this is where the joke comes, and I said this to Netter. I'm like, the whole story is I'm out here trying to rescue my kidnapped son, and I've spent all my time building up settlements. You know, this kid's going to be a grandfather by the time I find him, which, no spoilers, but, you know, that's actually not as humorous as it might sound. But, yeah, there's little fuckers out there, you know, doing who knows what, and I'm still busy building this town and putting in wiring and planting crops.
That's impressive. You get to build a town, though, huh? I mean, come on.
You get to build a bunch of towns. You know, Sanctuary is kind of a cul-de-sac, community, right? Like you would expect. But there's some bigger ones that you can do some things with. So, okay, now...
dialogue options, it looks like.
You get... Well, wait a minute. First, we got to talk about the fan favorite companion, which is Piper Wright. Piper, by the way, and some people have speculated that this is just... And I think rightly so. This is just reuse of assets. Others have said there might be an implied story here that, you know, isn't clear. But Piper has the same, character model as the wife, Nora, that is killed in the prologue. So it does seem like they're implying this is, if you're going to have a romance with a character, this is the one we think you should have the romance with. The best way I could describe Piper as a character, she's basically Lois Lane. She really is. She's a reporter. She's an investigative reporter. People, you know, think she's a little bit of a conspiracy theorist, but I mean, her name is Piper Wright. I mean, right, you know? She and I think she functions as a really good companion, especially when you become the Silver Shroud. You know, there is during the Silver Shroud, one of the outfits you could pick up is a silver sequence dress that you can put her in, and she makes a perfect sidekick type character to the Silver Shroud.
But totally impractical for fighting.
Yeah, it is. When she's wearing high heels and a dress. But she's Piper, and she pulls it off pretty good.
Piper Paraboo. Oh, wait,
Piper is like Lois Lane. Yeah, exactly. So I absolutely.
Okay.
But so you do this. Brings up a point that you brought up earlier, Boomer. These games that we're talking about here, I'm hoping we get to your game tonight.
Well, I won't spend too much time on it. Yeah, but yeah. You're kind of getting the obsession here that I've had with this game. These are older games. These are not like current games, and so this. Do you know when Fallout 4 came out? 2015.
2015. Yeah, that's
A while ago.
15. This is 26, so that's what, 11 years?
Yep.
Is my math right? That's 11 years?
I was surprised. I thought it was newer than that, but no, it's 2015. Yeah.
So, and you were talking about how, you know, like Grand Theft and so forth have been waiting so long for new versions to come out. Well, the thing that's sustaining this is that instead of putting out new games, they've put out new DLC that completely makes they're like whole expansions.
For those of us who don't know, what's a DLC?
Downloadable content. So the Nuka World expansion, the Far Harbor expansion, the Automatron expansion, which gives you whole new missions and whole new aspects of things that you can do and build and so forth. It's like having a whole new game. So it's not like, you know, the games become stale. And like I've said before, even after you've finished all the main missions and side quests, there's always these random Radiant quests and building up the communities and stuff.
Oh, you could
that
just
never
blow
gets
up
old.
the entire town.
Or you could just blow up an entire town. You absolutely could. But so back 11 years ago, this kind of text where you have 4 options to choose from, and it's very, and what's interesting, I don't know if this is strictly because this is a screen capture from one of the consoles, or if this is the one of the mods to the PC, but it just sets it up differently. You get 4 options. The top one, usually it's in a diamond pattern, and the top one is a question if you want to get more information. The bottom one is the nice answer, and I forget the right and the left one. One is like
Sarcastic.
one is sarcastic or rude, and the other is dismissive. And most people just down, do the nice one. There's sometimes you need more information, and every now and again, it's appropriate to be rude to some of these people. But yes, Piper is absolutely somebody that you can, let's just say, romance. There is there is nothing overt about, although the Irish girl does have some very blue language and suggestive lines. You don't actually see anything, but if you get to max affinity with any companion in a romantic way, you get that choice at the end. You can either flirt and become romantic, or you just be best friends, right? If you go the romance, yeah. Well, right. Well, I mean, like Preston Garvey, I really wasn't looking to enter into a romantic relationship with him.
So, in other words, he's saying your character can be gay if you want to pursue a male-to-male
Gives those
relationship,
options. I got you.
female relationship.
And it really doesn't change the fact that you could have played as a female as well. So, it makes it very much simpler. And in fact, the specific line from one of the developers from Bethesda was that most NPCs are main character sexual. So it doesn't matter what you are, they are open to being attracted to you, if that's how you choose to swing. But anyway, if you are in a romantic relationship with a companion and you've reached max affinity with them, and you stop to sleep for the night, when you wake up, you will find your companion in the bed with you, fully clothed, but in bed with you. And you will get a little notification that you have received the temporary perk of Love's Embrace, which gives you a bonus to your experience for the next however many hours.
Sounds nice.
I mean, although I could see, like, you look at your score and you're like, man, I'm just this far away from next level. Hey, come on, Piper, let's have sex.
Now,
I
apparently
need an experience bonus.
This is an example of a mod someone created where you can punch the NPCs.
Is that a mod? Because technically
Maybe it isn't.
You can do that in first person. I think this is just a screen capture of a regular unarmed combat in a third-person perspective, which you can switch into and out of in this game. I prefer to play first person only because it's very hard to see where the hell I'm going. I end up running in circles when I'm in third person. But sometimes you want to be in third person so you can see the outfit you're wearing, But
okay.
Is everything okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just a little dizzy and I want to lay down.
Oh, fair enough.
We'll be wrapping up soon.
We will.
Let's just
The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild.
This is from 20.
We have a futon down here about 10 feet from where Troy's sitting, so I was just going to kind of sit there and chill during the rest of the stream.
Yeah, I'm not going to be I won't spend too much on it. This is my choice. I dust this thing off every now and then when I'm not in school, and I try to get back into it. And of course, I have to relearn things I've forgotten. Because, for instance, when I'm fighting these huge Cyclops-type beasts that I'm sure are not Cyclops, Centaur-type creatures, which I know are not Centaurs, they're probably something else in the game, but, you know, I don't remember all the lore. I'm basically stumbling my way through this game. Let's get into it, okay? This is The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, last big Nintendo release for the Wii U, and one of the launch titles for the original Nintendo Switch. Let's punch random people. I wish you could do this well, you can do this with the monsters.
Well, what's funny about that is if you don't know what you're doing in a game, it's very possible to actually start beating somebody up when you totally don't intend to.
Yes, exactly. Now, this game right here, the original Legend of Zelda, these old games are more like high fantasy type series.
Right.
More reminiscent of Tolkien, you know, where you have the Hylians, which are basically elves. And then you have other races in these games like these rockmen. And let me get into this. This game, though, I've talked about Ocarina of Time on this on these channels
and it's the one Zelda game I've actually played, yeah.
This game, I believe, chronologically, excuse me,
yeah.
takes place probably tens of thousands of years later.
Wow.
This is way in the future. This is, for instance, what you learn from this game is Hyrule had a high technology period, and then that kind of fell apart. Now they're still in a good period. They were in a good period before the big calamity happened. Let me get into the big calamity. Okay. So there's.
Let me guess. It was your fault because of time travel.
It wasn't your fault because of time travel, but people are still blaming you for what happened. Okay, not exactly.
Okay.
I'll get into it. So this is Link. This is the main hero of the series. His main color scheme in this new series, isn't the traditional green with the cap. It's a blue outfit. But like I said, I've unlocked through my little figurines. I've unlocked the old Zelda costumes, so I tend to wear those. Plus, I haven't found this shirt in the game yet, so. But there you go. He has an arrow. Notice how the arrow glows at the end. This is
techno magic.
It's kind of techno magic in the series. That's a good expression for it because they were able to figure out ways to kind of create technology that utilize magic. That's sort of what's going on here.
Yeah.
Hyrule has faced a force known as Calamity Ganon. The Ganon, of course, was the main villain in Ocarina of Time. He's been in other Zelda games. In this period, they just call it Calamity Ganon. I don't think they know the history. I know more about the early history of this thing than they do, I think, in this game. They just know that there's this force called Calamity Ganon that always creeped up, and there would always be the hero that would always stop it, which, of course, is Link. And
you know, it's funny because I'm seeing a parallel between our two stories. You're playing someone from the past that has knowledge that the modern people are lacking.
Well, yeah. Well, in this game, here's the deal with Zelda games. They typically don't have the knowledge because they're Zelda and Link are usually just reincarnated or their descendants or whatever. However, in this game, you do have knowledge of the past because you wake up in the game in a stupor and you've been cryogenically frozen for about 100 years. Okay.
Another parallel. My gosh, it's like we're playing the same game.
For all I know, this is their nod to Fallout. Maybe that's where they got the idea from. You come out, you have no memory of what happened, but you get kind of flashes every now and then during the game of what happened, and you run into this. You're just basically in your skivvies, you know, and you get like a wooden sword, and you have to go out into the world, and you run into this big like woodsman type guy, a hunter. And I go up to him and says, "What do I do?" And he says, "I'm not going to hold your hand. You go." And he basically tells you, "I'm not helping you. You got to figure it out." Yeah. So I have to go around and figure out. There are no people besides this woodsman around. I'm having to go forage for things. I have to find weapons, and I get killed a lot. I think I have to get. I think I had to get some things for the hunter, and he'd tell me more. And I had to like gather up this stuff. And I remember there's this one section where I go into this wintry area. It's very cold, and I'm going to freeze to death unless I go near a fire. And I eventually figured out if I light a torch, then I don't freeze to death when I walk. And I started doing that. And then the trouble is these things called bokoblins, which are basically goblins. Okay, it's Zelda for goblins. They come attacking you, and you go fight them and you kill them, but then your torch has gone out and you got to run back to the fire. And of course, someone around told me, why didn't you just make an elixir that gave you cold resistance? I didn't know how to do that yet. That's why. Anyway, but the thing is, anyway though,
and that brings us to the big difference in the way you and I game. I will get frustrated and go online and learn some kind of a secret or whatever, something that you could probably find out in terms of gameplay, but it'll take forever. And you're like, nope, I got to find it all out on my own until someone finally tells you. And
I should start doing that. Well, someone explained to me how I was stuck in this one big dungeon area, and I'm like, I don't know how to get through it. And he says, you that
dress
map.
And drag. Yeah.
Well, no, that's another thing. I haven't found that outfit yet. Michael was telling me this, but I haven't gone to one village yet, which I don't remember where it was. This is from the past. These are the 6 champions of Hyrule.
Right. And you're one of them. That's
yes,
nice.
and all the different races are represented here. We have the fish people, which I don't remember what their names is. The Gerudo, which is the race of people Ganon originally came from. So it's nice to know they're not all evil. You have the bird guy, the stone, the guy that lives up the stone mountain. There's Princess Zelda reincarnated and Link reincarnated, and they decide to go on a crusade because basically the King of Hyrule read a prophecy that foretold Calamity Ganon was going to come back. And he said, you know what we're going to do? We're going to dig up all the old technology, techno-magic robots that we used that our ancestors used to stop Calamity Ganon. He actually tried preparing for this because he actually believed the prophecy. Trouble was when Calamity Ganon showed up this time, Calamity Ganon actually took control of all the techno-magic robots and sent them to attack Hyrule. So the thing they were going to use for their defense actually ended up being their downfall. It's kind of tragic, actually.
And did it function as like a Trojan horse? They bring them in for protection and they turn on them?
Basically, that's what happened, I think. I didn't go into detail, but that's what happened. And, of course, they're the usual horrible creatures that Ganon sent in from whatever dimension. Calamity Ganon, I keep forgetting. They don't know what Calamity Ganon is. They just see it as an evil force. They don't realize it was once a person that was in this thing.
But does Link know that?
No. Link is you're in this game, you're gathering up information as the game goes along. And no, I don't think Link knows it because I think the trouble is that I don't think Link and Zelda get their ancestors' memories. Ganon always knows what's going on because Ganon is always Ganon. Ganon isn't reincarnated. When Ganon shows up again, it's his original thing. Except for Calamity Ganon, something went wrong and he became this force called Calamity Ganon. I think what happened was, I don't know what happened, to be honest with you. I read a spoiler where I think you run into, when you fight Calamity Ganon, you realize that what it is it's Ganon trying to reform into his classic self, but something went wrong. Do you understand?
Gotcha.
Anyway, this is the Temple of Time from the Ocarina of Time. Look, it's in ruins because Hyrule is in ruins. Link and the champions failed. They failed to save Hyrule. And the only thing that kept the entire world from getting destroyed or corrupted by all the evil forces, I think Princess Zelda is using her psychic powers to keep Calamity Ganon sort of at bay, but the world is a mess. Look at those ruins, see?
Yep.
So you go around exploring, and these are all the horrible creatures. You kill a bunch of them, then the blood moon rises again, and they all reappear again. So that's kind of like a respawn. But those are moblins, bokoblins. They're these lizard men. I don't remember what their names are. I hate the lizard men. I hate them all. These are disgusting creatures that I just want to kill. The neat thing is when they have these little hideouts that look like the skulls there, they might have like some gunpowder in there, and then they'll have like a hanging lamp, and I'll shoot the hanging lamp with my bow and arrow. It'll fall down, ignite the gunpowder, and explode them, and they get all upset.
So you are of course racist. And
yes,
and
I don't care.
And phobic, and you're toxic, and because you discriminate against these hoblins or goblins or whatever they are, and they're not evil; they're just different from you. That's all they are.
It's funny you mention that. How we have many different races in Hyrule, and they are very diverse, as you see here, but they get along.
Yeah.
Let me see. But there are also the evil races, like in Lord of the Rings.
Exactly.
Even the Gerudo are redeemed because they had one of theirs was a champion. But they're
when was this game
horrible.
from?
2017. is when it came out.
2017. So yeah, this isn't quite as old as Fallout, but so see again, I'm on the older game than you, but still, this is before everyone got oh you can't have an evil race. That's racist. You can't do that.
I'm terrified what Nintendo would do now. I don't know, because maybe they'll go that route and just say, oh no, you can't do that in the future zoning. This is, I think it's called a Hydrox or a Hinox. I think that's what it's called. It's basically a Cyclops, and you can shoot your bow and arrow at it. You got to get it in the eye, and he gets all disembarred, and then you go in to kill him. These things are tough. These are like mini bosses.
Right.
That's that centaur creature. I would get slaughtered by these guys each time until I realize, oh, I'm not wearing the armor I found, because you get different things. But the thing is, if you wear armor, it makes it harder to climb mountains because you're heavier.
Right, you're climbing every mountain.
You know when you can't climb mountains is when it's raining, and you slip, and you basically have to wait for the rain to subside.
You fall to your death.
Sometimes. The game's pretty forgiving, though. It'll put you at your last save point. These are one of the worst things, and I've gotten pretty good at killing them, finally. These are what they call the Guardians. These are the things that turned on Hyrule. These are the machines made to protect Hyrule that have been corrupted by Calamity Ganon, and so they'll shoot lasers at you. So it's kind of weird that I've often wondered, like in these rich fantasy worlds, if they had just progressed like we had in our own period away from the medieval period, what would they become? And I think they might have become something like this, where they figured out a way to make a sort of techno magic, and have these creatures like this. And it's like they're shooting laser beams at you, basically. Okay, but yeah. Let's see here. We got these are the other things, and I will be stealing that roast when they're done. You have to forage in this game for food, by the way.
Right.
You have to gather herbs. You have to gather mushrooms. Mushrooms are big. Fruits, vegetables. You can kill forest animals like goats and wolves. If wolves start circling you, I love those. I just throw a bomb at them and they blow up. And then as soon as they blow up, you get a nice choice cut of meat on the ground.
That's exactly the way it is with Fallout.
You get a nice choice of meat on the ground after you kill the creature.
The problem is, though, that the creatures that you're scavenging are not the most appetizing to the player. Like I said, you got giant flies and cockroaches and rad scorpions and
disgusting.
Now
you can gather up pieces from these horrible creatures you kill, like their guts are lying on the floor. You can gather up a lizard tail or something, and what you do is, Lizardo, that's what the lizard creatures are called. Right. And you can use those for elixirs and potions, but not for
food.
For regular cooking. But you got to actually, if you use different ingredients, you make different meals. Like you can make like rice balls or like steamed fish or different things, and you do it over a pot on an open flame, and you get to see them. Link does this. He doesn't speak in the game, but he has mannerisms, and he goes, like he's cooking or something. It's kind of fun. I don't know, but I know that I'm trying to destroy the 4 major guardians because, of course, in addition to the little guardians, there are big ones that were taken over. In fact, one was affecting the fish people. It was one that looked like an elephant, like it was doing something through their water, which they need to survive. So when you actually get rid of the evil corrupting it, it actually fixes it, and then you can, it's no longer a threat. It's something that can be of use to Hyrule. Same goes for these dragons you find flying in the air. They're like the Chinese dragons, and they're kind of menacing. But once you get rid of the corrupting force on them, then they become the majestic creatures they're supposed to be.
There you go.
So it's actually fair to a lot of the races here, except for these horrible things that have come from outside.
Always the outsiders.
Yes.
Oh no, we're racist again.
Okay,
Xenophobe.
Yes. So this game doesn't really have dungeons in the classic sense of Zelda. It has what's known as shrines. You go into a shrine and you have to solve a puzzle or fight an intense enemy, usually one of these weird robotic machines. When you're done, you're going to get a special orb. If you get 4 orbs, you can get more stamina or get an extra heart. And it's kind of neat. They're like mini dungeons. Yeah. I would argue though that inside those big beasts, I think those are like dungeons of the Zelda of old. It's weird. It's a very strange game. It's a huge world. It's a huge map. I finally lit all of the things, or I got all the I want to call them relay towers on hand, but that's not what they are, even though that's what they were in the Spider-Man game. It's the same principle where you're getting the towers working, and then you get to see more of the map. Do you understand? So now the whole continent is basically open. So now I see where everything is now. But that's an example of one of the things you'll fight in one of these shrines. See, it's a big mechanical thing with like swords and shields and, you know, but that's okay. You get plenty of weapons at your disposal. I use many different types of arrows. I have bomb arrows. I have electricity arrows. I shoot at this thing.
Looks like the Master Dalek.
That's kind of what they remind me a little bit of. I'm also getting senses of like War of the Worlds because they have these weird tripod type
right,
legs and stuff. Yeah. But yeah, and when you defeat the enemy, you go up there and you get your prize from some old mystic mummy guy, and then when you get the thing, he just vanishes. Because I guess he dies. There's a lot of death surrounding this game, even though it is a beautiful looking game. Those are fairies you can encounter.
Wow, they got big fairies.
She's rather large and in charge, and what's funny is what she can do is she can enhance your armor, and when she does that, it almost looks like she's going to kiss you, and Link goes, you know, like he's uncomfortable. But no, you learn more about this world from the NPCs. So like when I ran into the fish people, you realize that they do not like you. They say you were responsible for the death of our princess 100 years ago. You don't remember because these creatures live longer than some of the other races.
Right.
And even though the prince doesn't blame you, he says, you know, she was my sister. She made her own choices, and I don't blame you for her death. But yeah, you had to kind of win those people over because they blamed you for the death because they said, oh, she followed you in that crusade and she died as a result. But then
I'll tell you, it's kind of hard to defend yourself when you can't remember.
You get flashbacks, though. When people start talking to you, you got flashbacks. For instance, I think the fish princess was a little sweet on you. I don't know how that was going to work, though, biologically speaking. But
you know, well, there's a long history of fish creatures and humans, you know.
And just so you know, there is no, despite what the old Zelda cartoon that was on Friday afternoons used to say, there is no romance between Princess Zelda and Link. That's not their relationship.
Right.
It's more like he's the knight and she's the royalty, and that's how it is. Now, I do think that Link, you always get the idea there are other women NPCs in the game that Link probably gets together with after the game is over, because obviously the bloodline has to continue somehow, right?
Exactly.
That's the king of Hyrule. He's the one that the hunter turned out to be, and after he tells you the sad story about Hyrule fell and what you have to do, then he kind of vanishes like a ghost.
Wow.
It's like he was a ghost staying behind to tell you, warn you what was going on, and then he disappeared. But you run into NPCs in this game in various towns, and that's the flower
lady. Let me guess.
lady.
This character has a really, really deep timbered voice. No.
So here's the deal. Dialogue is sparse in these games. Like you'll see, like they'll do things like that. In the cutscenes, you do hear dialogue though. Like Princess Zelda will talk to you if she's relaying something to you. Or I think the King of Hyrule spoke to you. You heard his voice. So, because Nintendo has been very weird about voice acting. They're getting better about it as the games have gone on. Link is still voiceless. You don't hear him say anything. Arg, no. This is the flower lady. She gets very upset if you trample on her flowers that are outside this one shrine. Because I want to get whatever is glowing over there, the weird thistle. And if I step on her flowers, she screams, Arg, no. And if you do it too many times, the screen goes dark and you hear her beating you up, and then you wake up with bruises.
Wow.
And this is my thought. The world is about to come to an end if I don't stop this evil force, and you know, and you're bugging me over some squashed flowers.
Maybe you gotta be more respectful of her flowers if you want to save the world today.
Maybe I need to kill her and I've tried. I've
Wow.
tried several times. It's not like Fallout where I get to do what I want.
Oh, okay, yeah.
She'd be dead. Anyway, though, I did want to end this, though. I'm not going to spend too much more time on this, but it's a massive game. There's a lot to do. But I know a lot of Zelda fans. Some did not like the move to open world. They don't like the fact that you have weapons that break on you, and then you have to get more weapons. I get more weapons by using my plastic amiibos as a cheat to get better stuff. That's how Nintendo does their DLC. They'll have you buy a plastic figurine that you can use once a day.
Gotcha.
But this is the original Legend of Zelda, and much like Breath of the Wild, there isn't a set path to go. You could go to any dungeon. I mean, people sometimes follow a set path, but there really wasn't a set path, and it's kind of a tough game for back in the day. And I think Breath of the Wild is really channeling this old Zelda game because this is kind of taking place in a ruined Hyrule too.
Yeah.
This isn't the nice era that was Link to the Past, where you knew where you knew your objectives, where you had to go, what you had to get, all these things. This is less linear, and I think that this is what Breath of the Wild was in a way sort of channeling. So
That's
many years
interesting.
later.
So it's like doing a remake without doing a remake. It's kind of
Yeah.
drawing
Basically,
inspiration from the past. That's good. That's good.
And that's sort of what Zelda games do. Like I remember with Twilight Princess, where you went into the dark world. Like that was kind of a take on Link to the Past, where you went into a dark world too. Except in Twilight Princess, it was called the Twilight Realm, but it was like an alternative version of Hyrule in another dimension that was all dark and weird and stuff.
I love how
Yeah.
so many franchises have to have that. Whether it's the Mirror Universe,
Yep.
the Upside Down,
Zelda did
Earth
it too.
3 for Warner Brothers.
Zelda did it in '92, I think, or '91 with Link to the Past, where you think you beat the bad guy of the game, and then suddenly you're sent into another dimension, and you're in this other world where everything's topsy turvy. Anyway, but yeah, this is I like it. There has been a sequel to this game called Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. I have not played it yet because I want to beat the original. I know that there's a lot where you can do crafting wise. Apparently, you can make machines and things out of anything in the game, and I don't know if that changes up the gameplay or not. It might make it too easy or something, because maybe it makes it less hard, because you have to learn how to manage your resources. So I don't know. I've not played Tears of the Kingdom though. If anybody in the chat has, you can always let me know. But I will get to that if I ever beat Breath of the Wild, which I at least want to get through one of those big dungeons this summer before time's out.
You gotta have your goals.
I have to get through 4 of them before I can head off against the big bad, and not to mention the fact that, like with Fallout, there are a ton of little side quests to do.
Yep.
Where people say, "Can you go find my dog?" or "My son's been missing and he's in another part of the country" or something.
And this is why I feel like whatever you've paid for this game, it more than you've gotten a good deal of entertainment. You spend. I mean, some of these games cost as much as going to the cinema. And the cinema, you watch it, it's done, it's over in 2 hours. Whereas this, you could get years of gameplay out of.
I got a good deal on Breath of the Wild. I got it for $40 during a Christmas sale. Now, I've seen it for as low as $30, but Nintendo, they're famous for, in recent years, we'll never lower our prices, but no, wait for Black Friday sales. You'll get sales.
Well, I was telling Netter that for Fallout 4, all of the DLC and whatnot was on sale. I think it was like $35 for all of it. I'm like, that's an incredible deal. And then when you realize how much game time I've gotten out of it, that was an incredible deal.
One of the best gaming deals I got was actually the Batman Arkham trilogy for Xbox on sale, I think for under $10. Came with all 3 of the games and all of the DLC. I was like, yes, please. I mean, it's all digital, but still for $10.
Right.
That's a good deal. But yeah, and just one last thought though. This is the original Legend of Zelda. You know who made this, right?
Nintendo?
Yep, Nintendo, but Shigeru Miyamoto, the man who made Super Mario Brothers and Donkey Kong. He also made this game. Yes.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. But that's it for now. That's all I had to say about Breath of the Wild. But I figured I'd tag my thing on at the end of your Fallout. But I know you've been... I don't know, man. One of these days you'll have to do a Let's Play of Fallout.
I mean, maybe. Maybe after I've gone all the way through it, maybe I'll start over again. And maybe I'll do a Nora playthrough.
There you go.
Maybe with some mods.
There you go. And she could romance the Lois Lane character. Oh, wait. No, never mind.
That's right. That's absolutely right. Yeah, that could be. That could be.
Cool beans.
All right. And that was the last slide? That was the last slide.
That's it. I figured I'd end with the classic. Just to explain that, in a way, I think it is carrying on the tradition set by the very first game. I think it's echoing it. So people who say, I don't like it, it's like, well, I think it's, you made out of like the original Legend of Zelda on the NES, because I think it's channeling that. I'm telling you. I think it is.
Yeah, so what it comes down to for me is, again, it ticks off all the boxes of The Sims with being able to build communities and, mod things and whatnot. Like I didn't even get into. I was talking about the Silver Shroud, where you get to play as the Silver Shroud and basically do a Batmanish type character. There's DLC where you could download an actual apartment that is like the Silver Shroud's sanctuary, where in the basement you've got like the secret lair and the place to build armor and stuff like that. And
Cool.
it's really neat. But the Silver Shroud was also a character kind of like in the Avengers, where you've got multiple characters. And when you are at Hubris Comics, you could pick up the costume for Grognak the Barbarian, which is clearly Conan the
Very
Barbarian.
funny.
And as you go around, you can pick up comic books of Grognak the Barbarian that gives you bonuses on your melee combat. So you could literally make yourself into Grognak the Barbarian fighting in this futuristic era. There's also a
Like Thundar the Barbarian fighting.
exactly.
Yes.
There is a character that is like a Flash Gordon type character, who is also on a TV show. And it turns out when you go to that studio, you can pick up his armor and power suit and so forth. And you find out that everybody was filming the show when the bombs dropped. So you end up having to kill the ghouls of the cast and crew of that show. And the final boss is that Flash Gordon character who, if you were reading all of the memos, was a complete scumbag. He was, oh yeah, he was like hashtag Me Tooing all the girls that worked on the show.
Of course.
Thought who the hell he was and wanted more money. And he was so pissed off about his sidekick, who was a monkey, that the monkey got this big dressing room because he needed a gym and whatnot. He's like, I need a gym. I need to stay in shape.
Oh, that's funny.
So when you end up killing him, the glowing ghoul, it's like, good, die, you MFer. So you get all of these different characters that you can portray if you so choose. There is aliens that you can encounter. Aliens are real. The Zatans. And you can pick up their weapons and discover their lore. There's actually an alien abduction separate download that you can end up on their ship and fight your way out of it. And you can even use their ship to blow up San Francisco if you want to. There is a
It's
lot.
like destroy all humans.
Yeah, exactly. There is a lot of Lovecraft references. There's what's it called? A quarry that you can go into where you have to clear out all the raiders. But in the deeper levels, you start having flash hallucinations from a previous time where a bunch of cultists were in there doing these rituals. And there's this one section that's filled with water. If you dive into it, you can find some loot. And at the very bottom of it is like just a little eye of a giant statue. Really creepy stuff. Yeah, some good stuff. And there's an insane asylum where you can rescue a guy who's even older than you. He's from the 1800s. He was in the Middle East, and he found a crown that gave him psychic powers and tapped into the otherworldly old ones.
Was the crown made out of a special metal, not of this earth or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Yes.
But he is being they use his family traps him in this insane asylum with a dampening field that dampens his powers, and they are extracting his blood to be immortal. And you end up in the situation: do you free the possibly crazy demigod guy? And side with him against his vampiric evil family. It's but if you side with him, he'll give you the serum to keep you alive.
That's an
and
idea.
Make you immortal. Yeah. So it's very interesting stuff, but also some very, very creepy stuff. Limitless stories here, guys. So I could literally go on all night, and I think I'll stop now.
Yes.
Because you got to get to work tomorrow. So.
I do. I have to get up in the morning to serve the public.
Tomorrow is the watch party on Netter's channel. Hanging up, and then Sunday, of course, Geeky Geezers. We're going to be saying goodbye to Marsha Lucas. That's a tough one.
That's going to be a big one. Yeah, we'll talk a bit about her. And also the Lost Boys is apparently...
Got a musical. Everything's becoming a musical.
That one I think could be a musical, though. That's why I'm saying.
If they do a lot of 80s music, a lot of that...
That's what I think they're going to do, yeah.
Broody pseudo-punk type stuff, that could be good.
Yeah.
Could be good.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about it more tomorrow.
Cool.
All right. Any last thoughts, any last words, Boomer, before we wrap it up?
Nothing. Just remember, it's not a waste of time because you're learning how to problem solve, and you can take that into the real world.
That's exactly
these games.
right. That's a great way of justifying the time we're wasting on these games.
Plus, it relaxes you.
Speaking of being relaxed, I think that screaming orgasm really relaxed Netter, because I think she's pretty much out.
Okay.
So let her be.
Man.
And I'll just say thank you all so much for hanging out with me and starting your weekend off right with Last Call. I super appreciate it. I appreciate every single one of you, and that's why I always want you to take care of yourselves, be healthy as you can be. Hydrate, because it prevents the headaches and helps you flush out all the bad stuff. Drink responsibly, because that's the opposite of staying hydrated. We'll get this, very last moment. Lady Miss dropped a farty fox, so let's honor that.
Yes.
Shimmy left, shimmy right, farty fox is dancing tonight. Hearts go popping out his bum, wiggle, wiggle, here they come. Come. Cute as can be with a fluffy tail sway, spreading love in the silliest way. Farty fox, you're the best. Boop, 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 you're simply the cutest mess.
There you go.
We got to get one in tonight.
Have a nice farty fox weekend.
Yes.
Lynn Green is just about caught up as we're getting to the end. And just as Enigma Cyberverse is coming back, he comes back to the farty fox. So there you go. There you go, my friends. So anyway, have a great one. We will see you on the next one, which of course is Retro Cinema tomorrow on Netter's Network. And take care of yourself, and see you on the next one. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Where's my closing credits? I know I've got them around here somewhere.
Let me know if you want me to do it.
Do you see the closing credits over there?
Hold on, let me drag down.
Should be outro. Got it.
Outro.
Good night, ladies.
Good night, sir.
Hit it, sweetheart.
The neon lights are fading, closing time is near. Whispers in the corners, secrets shared sincere. The bartender's polishing the final glass. Time slips away like moving through the grass. Last call for alcohol, make your dreams come true. One more round, friends, from me and you. Let's toast to the night, to the stories we've spun. Here's to the laughter and to what's begun. The shadows are dancing as we linger still. Every clink of a glass, a memory to distill. Beneath this smoky haze, our feelings they unfurl. History whispers in this corner of the world. The jukebox serenades us with a final tune, crooning to the lonely and the lovers under the moon. With every soft note, the end draws ever near. But in this fleeting moment, there's nothing to fear. Last call for alcohol, make your dreams